Hey guys, this is Mr. Shakar, and today we're going to be working with adding and subtracting polynomials. Polynomials. Adding and subtracting. So for example, if I'm looking at something like 3x squared plus 9, okay, and I'm going to be adding that to, let's go with 5x squared plus 2x plus 7, okay? One way that I can do this is I can go ahead and stack these, okay? And I would stack these as following. I can go ahead and rewrite 5x squared plus 2x plus 7, and then underneath it, I'll put this other binomial. So on the top I have the trinomial, on the bottom I have the binomial. But I have to line them up according to the like terms. So since this is an x squared, I'm going to line it up with the x squared. So I have 3x squared, and then now I have no single x. So there's nothing that's going to be here. And then I go to my constants, which is 9, so plus 9. And if I'd like to, I can say, if it really makes you feel good, just have something in there, you can call it 0x, okay? Because how many x's are there? 0. And then I can go ahead and add these together. Now, 7 plus 9 tells me that I'm going to have 16. I do not carry the 1. That would be a huge mistake, right? And let's not make huge mistakes. Next we have 2x plus 0x, which still gives us 2x. And then finally we have 5x squared plus 3x squared. And I'm adding the coefficients, which would give me 8, and the variable stays the same, because I'm not multiplying, I'm just adding. So I end up with 8x squared plus 2x plus 16. And that is what I would get for adding this binomial to this trinomial. So let's say if I was going to add another set of polynomials, okay? Let's say if I went with something like x cubed minus, let's say 6x plus, let's go 6x squared plus, I don't know, 5x, okay? And we're going to go ahead and add that to, let's say 7x cubed plus 5x squared minus 13. Okay, so if I was going to go ahead, you didn't get to see that, it's all right there. Okay, so once again, that was x cubed minus 6x squared plus 5x is one trinomial, and then I'm going to add that to 7x cubed plus 5x squared minus 13. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to rewrite it. Since they're both trinomials, it doesn't matter which one I start with because I'm adding them. So I'm going to go x cubed minus 6x squared plus 5x. And then right below it, I'm going to do this trinomial, which is 7x cubed plus 5x squared minus 13. So I don't want to put the minus 13 right underneath the 5x. That would make things confusing. So I'm going to put it over here, minus 13. Alright, now why would I do that? Because I'm lining up my like terms. Okay, and in order to reference this, I'm sure that you remember if I was going to add 500 plus, I don't know, I'm making up these numbers, 7,000 plus 6, I don't say 500 plus 7,000 plus 6. That's not how we add things. We have to make sure that we line things up according to their value. Okay, so we know that this is incorrect. Alright, but we have to add it up as 7,000 plus 500 plus 6, that everything is lined up according to its value of 7,000s, 500s, 6 ones. Okay, that's how we would add that. In the same way, we're lining things up according to their value. We have constants here, so the constant here is plus 0 because there's nothing there. And then this one, we have our value of x, and that would be plus 0x. Okay, 0x. Then we have our values of x squareds and the values of x cubeds. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this one out. 0 minus 13 would be, or plus negative 13 would be negative 13. 5x plus 0x is 5x. And then if I have negative 6x plus 5x, that leaves me with, oh, these are squareds. Negative 6x squared plus 5x squared, that leaves me with negative 1x squared, or just negative x squared. And then I have x cubed plus 7x cubed, which leaves me with 8x cubed. And since I can't put together any of these other like terms, I have a final answer of 8x cubed minus x squared plus 5x minus 13. So that is how I add polynomials. Okay? To finish this out, I can go ahead and subtract polynomials. Subtracting polynomials would work out like, let's say, if I had, it's done in a very similar fashion. If I have, before I subtract polynomials, this is an important thing to remember. If I'm looking at something like, in parentheses, I don't know, let's say I have 6x plus 19, okay? But I have a negative on the outside. Remember that that distributes in, and that flips the signs of both the 6x. So I have negative 6x now, minus 19, because this negative 1 had distributed into both the 6 and the 19, okay? So if I had set up something like, let's say, 11x plus 5 minus 4x minus 3, then I have to remember that this subtraction symbol really is the same thing as a negative 1 distributing into each of these, which would make this into a negative 4x, and a negative times negative gives me a positive 3. Okay? And so then I can finish writing these guys out. I have 11x plus 5 minus 4x plus 3. So instead of stacking these, I'm just going to do them horizontally. Okay? And so I can put together my like terms. I can say 11x minus 4x would be, what? 7x. And then if I have 5 plus 3, I have plus 8. And that would be my answer. If you would like to see this, so I'm going to redo this one as 11x plus 5 with negative 4x plus 3. Don't confuse this as being subtraction now. I'm actually, that makes that confusing a bit. But I'm actually adding this over to that because I already distributed the negative. Alright, so I end up with 8 plus 7x. Okay, same answer. Okay, I know that might have been a little confusing about how this became adding the negative, but once I distributed the negative 1 into this, okay, I'm kind of adding this portion over to it. I'm combining them together. That's pretty much the main idea. Okay, so that's basically subtracting polynomials.